In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to take your laser box and lay out all of your pieces so that we can cut them on the laser. All right, so this is going to lay them all out flat on one plane. There's a hard way and there's an easy way, and if you know me by now, hopefully you know that I'm going to show you the easy way. All right, so let's go back and back this up a little bit and show you how we did it. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to put this back into isometric mode. So here's the box that we created before. Um, now, you created a drawing off of this box. And if we move forward with creating a layout, it's going to mess up your drawing. So to keep us from messing up your drawing, what we want to do is we want to duplicate this tab. So I'm going to come down here, right click on my laser box tab, and I'm going to go to duplicate. When I do, I want to go to the new copy, right click on it, and I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to call this one laser box layout. Okay, and the reason I'm doing this is I can do whatever I want to this one, and it's not going to mess up the drawing that I did in the previous video. So here's my laser box layout one. So the next thing I want to do is I want to come up here to my feature scripts, and we want to add a custom feature script. The one we want is called auto layout. So we'll go to add custom feature script, go to public, and we're going to look for auto layout. Okay. I'm going to hit enter. You can see there's a whole bunch here, different auto layout feature scripts. Okay, I'm going to come down here to this first one that says auto layout and says start, and I'm going to click auto layout. Now, I already have it, so when I click it, it's just going to add a second copy of it because I already had it here. So I'm just going to remove my additional copy, close this. All right, and then we're going to come up here to where it says auto layout. So there's a few things here. When you do a layout for flat pattern work or flat part work, okay, it wants to know what is the size of the material blank that you're cutting this out of. In our case, everything we've been doing has been in metric. So our thickness of the plywood we're going to use is 1.5 millimeters. All right. Now, the size of the sheet that we're going to use is going to be reasonably small. So I'm going to use a cut sheet width of 10 inches. Notice how if I put in 10 inches and I add the units, when I hit enter, it's going to convert that for me. All right, when I move on to the next one, so it's 254. Okay, and then I'm going to use a cut height of 6 inches. And then move on. All right, and then I'm going to use a spacing of 1 millimeter between, which is actually fairly generous spacing. Last thing I want to do is I want to show my cut sheet. So this shows the size of the sheet that I just spec'd out. And if you've been following along or if you've been watching closely, you'll notice that it automatically went and laid out all of my parts and pieces for me. All right, it's at the moment, it's showing me a transparent view of the original. All right, and I can change that level of transparency by dragging the slider back and forth. All right, so here's what it looks like before, and here's what it looks like after. As somebody who's done a lot of flat work in the last 20 years, being able to have this done automatically and not have to take individual pieces and bring them into another software and lay them all out for the laser is huge. This is absolutely a game changer. All right, so now I'm going to hit green check, and I now have my layout done. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a drawing of this. And the reason I want a drawing of this is because I want to be able to export a DXF of all of these that I can then take to the laser and cut. All right, so I've got my layout, but my layout has 3 dimensions. My drawing is going to have 2, and that's the advantage there. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to insert a new tab, and I'm going to create a drawing. In this case, I'm going to go to my templates up here, and we'll go to ANSI, and we'll go to, we'll go to custom template, sorry. So it's going to be ANSI A. Okay, and the reason we're using custom template is we want to make sure that for our border, okay, we do not include a border. For our title block, we do not want to include a title block. All right, we are setting this up on a blank page, and that's what we get by using custom template here. So it's going to say no views, which is fine, and then I'll click OK. So when I get in here, this sheet has just a completely blank sheet. I'm going to come over here and choose Part Studio. And what I'm looking for is my laser box layout. Notice how that's one of my options. So I'll click on that. And if you look, I'm not getting the layout. And the reason why is it's giving me the front view. So I want to choose the top view. Okay. And if you did it right, it should look like this. It should look like the layout. If you did your orientation in a different plane, then you may have to change to a different one of these views. But ultimately, what you're looking for is this layout. You'll notice this layout is awfully small, and that's because it's scaled to 1/3 the size. This is a 1:3 scaling. I don't want that. I want to change my scaling 1:1. 1:1 means it's the same size on the drawing as it is in real life. So now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to drag this close. Yeah, there we go. Drop that there. So now I'm going to hit escape. I don't want to do any projected views. Okay, this is all I wanted right here, is I wanted that on a sheet so that way I can laser cut it. And that is just awesome. So I'll come down here to my drawing and I'll change the name of this to laser layout draw. All right. So at this point, I'm ready to go ahead and take this as a DXF over to the laser next door and cut it. And that's awesome. All right. Good luck.